Welcome to another Friday closing bell for the week ending 7th of August 2015. Everything is red, downside prospect is looking very bad for us, meaning we are likely to go down than up any sooner, and I'm going to show you why. Now, last week we were looking back at my notes here. We were doing 1723. Right now is 1682. As you can see here, we're down almost 40 points for the week. What is bad is actually this weekly bar. You can see in here we did have a lot of nice springs and things like that. That's what last week I was quite optimistic that this will actually go higher. But guess what? The sell-off came as ringgit continued to weaken and broke through what we call the 389 to 392. So that is the break on the back of the hammer. Sorry, camel's back they call it. So that's what now we look like we might see another 2 or 3 weeks down and really possible retesting back. Let me make a note here right down to 16. Let me put at the support here, okay, to 600. That's almost 15% from where we have up here. Now that's how I derive here. 1600 is very fast when it will come down, right? Which is around here. As you can see here, we have a really nice support here, 1600. It's quite irony that the election time 2013, when the Barisan Nasional won, you can see this lip up and this now breaking down back. Does that mean that, this is the end of the coalition party? Okay, so that's yet to be speculated, but that's you heard first from closing bell for traderstruthreview.com. Okay, so we have this breakdown, expect more to sell off. And let's look at the daily chart. And that's what I don't like about the daily chart here. We have volume. You see this volume exceeded the green line in here. Typically, you look at this volume here. Let me just show you here. This volume was 16.7. This was 18. Okay, so came off. This was 16.1. Then we have here 16.4. So okay, but we broke through 18.6. That's almost 1.8 billion, and that's why we have this thing breaking down here. This was the nice push that I expect the market to close. Remember, I was talking about jagged and the market should go up and then come back down, but I didn't know that the following day after a widespread bar, this thing just came out and then started to sell off. So that's the prognosis in here breaking down, and that doesn't look very good. Now looking from a small cap stock, we have a retest back. The 200-day moving average could not take out 1, 2, and break down. I thought this could actually break, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not much of a news that allowed the small cap stock to break. It's been very tough for the guys who are trading small cap stocks, really getting whacked left, right, and center. So we will retest back this 15,211 here. That will be the support, but it does look like market likely to go down from here. So outlook doesn't look very good. Okay, we will expect it to see higher retesting back this 50-day, but now trading below 50-day, we are still pretty much in a downtrend, and 1600 level. That's scary, isn't it? Okay, so let's look at the foreign funds flow, and this probably says it. We have 3 days of foreign fund buying, and then it came through 261 million. That's the one that sell off in here. We haven't had that for a long time. Last one was 23rd. And there are many reports that you can read from the Malaysia Bloomberg. There have been almost 11 billion net selling since for the year, and that continued. Even on my side in here on a weekly basis, you are seeing a net 260 million. So you times 50 weeks, that's how you work out the numbers anyway. So foreign funds continue to leave, and that's driving the market lower. Now let's look at the futures chart here, which is interestingly enough, today we have a widespread bar selling off, and then little spring coming, a lot of cowering in here. Can this hold? I really don't know, right? Let's see on the 15-minute chart and see what happens here. Oh, okay, interesting. Market sell-off right here to 1660, and then I think a lot of short covering in here. That's why the market closed back up here, 16 about 10 points in here. That is typically futures, but from the chart wise that we see in here, possible, looking at here, there might be a possible rebound, okay, because we have this spring buy in here. All can also communicates that the market will continue to move, so-called. But you look at here, you see what I mean? On a weekly basis, it is still down, right? When we see this is expect market to go higher. It could not, and market came off. So that's what we're seeing now, okay? So on hindsight, this doesn't look very, very good. Okay, let's look at Singapore now. Now, Singapore data I have today on my telequote, it's not correct. So this was supposed to be up 5 points. You can see here, I've showed here, everything just showing in there. I already logged a complaint with the provider here. I'm hoping they will take a look at it. So it's pretty hard to show you what I have for Singapore today. Okay, so we done that one. We look at the foreign funds. Let's look at CPO. Now this is CPO chart. You can see, nice downtrend broke through here. The funny thing is now as we see ringgit weakening, CPO should be more attractive, but no, commodity prices, everything just get whacked. Okay, this is going to be a market downtrend. It's retesting the 1900. I read somewhere possibly they'll be heading for 1900. So that looks really bad for the win. So the question is, are we going to the Asian financial crisis that we've seen back in 97, 98 when ringgit hit 3.8? Also, people are asking, are we seeing the pegging of the ringgit to 4.2? So that's going to be interesting to see whether the ringgit can be pegged. But if it does, that also tells you, I don't know whether capital control will be there. So that's hard to see what's going to happen in there. If it does affect, a lot of people will be affected too. So that seems to be so-called the uncertainty. Hopefully, we hope that the worst won't come. Is it right? This is CPO. Now let's go on to let's look at the regional market in here, and we done. Now Dow Jones on a weekly basis, let's pull it up a bit, has broke through this so-called 50-day moving average, which is actually 250-day weekly. You can see that we broke through the 200-day, and the 200-day now is a resistance, could not break through 1780. And tonight there were some figures coming up, job numbers are coming up. As I look at my Bloomberg screen in front of me, the Chinese market are not doing too bad here. So, but Dow Jones definitely pointing more downside from here. Right. Let's look at the Shanghai market. Yeah, Shanghai market is up today, holding up above the 200-day moving average. And I think the Chinese government are doing a lot to prop up the stock market in here. That also have a pronounced effect also on the Shanghai market, which in turn control the Hong Seng market. Right. Australia, a sell down day in here, as you can see, below the 200-day moving average. Dow Jones below, Hong Kong below, the Shanghai just above slightly, Singapore below, and Nikkei is the one that's doing the best for this region so far. That's seems to be a good news. Okay, so we done that. Let's look at gold. This is the chart. This is the one where we see that nice line change when the market broke through here. 385. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 385 to 390. 395 in here. Will we see some resistance? It's yet to be known. But everyone, I know you'll all be saying $4 akan datang. But a nice breakout. We can see base building in here. This is the part where I was expecting, miracle that the market might break down. But it doesn't look like that way until we see some sort of an upthrust in here. Market will reverse. No reversal at this point, okay? Okay, does look like 4 is coming. Now let's look at the wicks, which actually measures the volatility. Last week we were at about 12 when we hit here. Today hit back to 14.5. Going forward, this does look like we might hit 15. That's do paint a bearish outlook for the US Dow Jones, which is in line with what I've seen down below the 200-day moving average. Okay, so that's what's happening in here. So wicks is pointing more to the downside in here. And going back to the same chart, gold is holding nicely, building a nice base at 1090. See, we broke through here. Again, pricing in the September interest rate rise. Now we're coming to first week of August, so only about 3 weeks. So everything is pricing in, pricing in of the US interest rate rise. So that's going to be interesting in there. The FOMC meeting will be sometime in early September, if not mistaken. And I just need to check the calendar. When is it fall coming? That's about it. Okay, so we done the week's goal. Let's look at some of the shares that we have. Of course,